When a charity worker, Jennifer Hodge, was sent video of a 5-year-old child being sexually abused, she was so outraged she sent it via WhatsApp to 17 people, including her sister, who was the Metropolitan Police Superintendent Robyn Williams. Superintendent Williams didn't play the video, but was convicted of possessing indecent images. She was found guilty by a jury at the Old Bailey last week and has just been sentenced to 200 hours unpaid work in the community. The prosecution said that they accept the defendants in the case had no sexual interest in the video, nor had any sinister purpose in having it and sharing it. Her sister Jennifer Hodge and her sister's partner were also convicted of indecent image offences of a child. Danny Shaw is our Home Affairs correspondent, is at the Old Bailey, and this is, Danny, such a strange case. Can you tell us a bit more about it and how it came to even be at the Old Bailey?
It's a very unusual case, and it's all about events that took place in February last year when Robyn Williams was sent this video lasting only 52 seconds. It arrived on her phone via WhatsApp. Jennifer Hodge, her sister, has sent the video with a message saying, "Sorry, had to send this. It's so sad that this person would put this out. Please post this and let's hope he gets life." Well, there was no evidence that Williams had viewed the footage at all, and she said that she didn't even know what it was. She had no idea that it was on her phone. But she spoke to her sister that day, and they were together for a number of hours the following day. And the prosecution said the video must have been discussed by the two sisters, and they accused Williams of lying. Well, the jury found her guilty by a 10-1 majority of possessing indecent images. As you say, she's been given a 200 hours unpaid work order and will have to sign on as a sex offender for the next 5 years. And there is a very real possibility that her 36-year police career, which was described by the judge as stellar, could end, and she could lose her job as a result of misconduct proceedings, which will now take place.
But interestingly, the prosecution accept that they don't. I mean, they weren't. There was not a charge that the defendants had any sexual interest in the video.
No, and that's what's unusual about this, in that these sorts of offences that come before the courts, and particularly a court such as the Old Bailey, normally are about people who have an extensive collection or have distributed indecent images for sexual purposes. That was not the case with any of the three people in this particular case, and that has caused some concern and certainly raised a few eyebrows as to why it should lead to a 3-week trial at the Old Bailey. But there's also been disquiet about the case among superintendent ranks who've been supporting Superintendent Williams, and also the Black Police Association. Robyn Williams was a founder member of the association and is one of the most senior African Caribbean officers in the country. And one of the representatives of the BPA said to me today, Robyn Williams would never have been prosecuted had she been white, and questioned why 14 other people who received that video and didn't report it haven't been taken to court as she was.
Danny Shaw, thank you. Well, Dal Babu was the Chief Superintendent of the Met Police and is here. Can you talk us through the law? Where does the law stand on this? Is it if we are sent an image, any one of us, that is indecent, but we didn't ask for it, we don't look at it, could we be guilty of a similar offence?
Well, this is the frightening element of this case, is if you're sent an image and you don't report it to the police, because that's your defence. Your defence is that you've received it and then you've got in your possession, you haven't asked for it, you're not having any sexual gratification out of it, you're obliged to report it to the police. If you don't, then you potentially could be charged, as indeed Robyn was, with possession of an indecent image. And I think this is one of the issues around social media at the moment. You know, many of us will be members of WhatsApp groups. I actually went to the Old Bailey, I listened into the evidence, and like as Danny has suggested, I'm surprised that this case got to the Old Bailey. But what it did make me do is realise how vulnerable you are when you're on social media. And actually, I stepped out of a few WhatsApp football groups I'm a member of.
Well, I was going to ask, because a lot of us are members of WhatsApp groups where we don't even necessarily read the messages. There are too many.
Absolutely. But it did make me realise when I was listening to the evidence how vulnerable you are, because Robyn's evidence to the court was that she didn't open up the video. And actually many of us will have messages and, we will delete them immediately, whether it's because of lack of data or because we know that they're going to be fairly innocuous. So it does make you realise just how vulnerable you are. I think there is the issue about whether this case should have gone to the Old Bailey, the premier court of the country, for 3 weeks. And I think quite legitimately people are asking that question.
Will she lose her job?
Well, this will be fast-tracked now to a hearing, a disciplinary hearing, and then she may potentially lose her job.
Dal Babu, thank you very much.